Well. Did I say I'm here? Well, I'm saying it now. Hey. It is Thursday. Thursday. You know how I do. This is how I introduce myself. I'm always calling out the name of the day of the week, rather. The day of the week. It is Thursday. What's going on? Good evening. I am Lady D. Denise Gomez, your producer and presenter of Inside the Zone, the community platform where information is guaranteed. Howdy. How are you doing? Did you think of me today? Well, you had better check yourself. If you haven't thought of me all day and say, oh, guess what? Lady D is going to be here. It's Thursday. It's Center Stage, the platform where voices are heard and people connect. Thank you for joining me as always. If it is your first time, you've never heard of me before, you've never heard of my voice, my name is Denise. Today's program is brought to you by Cooler Runnings Jamaican Restaurant, 1802 Nereid Avenue in the Bronx. It is broadcast on Linkage Radio 101.7, 104.5, on my YouTube channel, Inside the Zone with Lady D, Denise Gomez. Also on Spice International Gospel Network, that is Sign FM 88.9, Touch FM Radio 90.1, and Caribbean Vibes Radio Network, www.caribbeanvibesradio.com. It's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a good show, 'cause I'm here to keep you company until 8 o'clock. In this evening's program, I feature Inspirational Zone. We get a praise on with inspirational gospel music. It is Black History Month, as you know. Of course, we always have our news zone, a delayed broadcast of the news, courtesy of the Jamaica Information Service. In Music Zone this evening, Black History Music Thursday. And it's my Black History thing. Of course, I do have my Black History Fast Facts for you. Second World War Service and Sacrifice, Dr. Harold Moody. He was born in 1882. He died in 1947. And guess where he was from? Yard, Jamaica. In Mail Zone this evening, a lady's having some challenges with her 39-year-old daughter who has a boyfriend who just pops up at the house and always wants something to eat, and she's over it now. And then the boyfriend comes over and sleeps over, and she's like, I'm paying my own bills. Her daughter has not been helping her to pay the bills. What is that? 39? You kidding me? And of course, in Black History Zone this evening, my guest is Christine Francis. Now, Christine has spent the past several years traveling to and fro and volunteering in countries in Africa and the Caribbean. That ought to be interesting. Yeah, she has been traveling. And, just giving back that heart of service. Yeah, at 7:30 p.m., I'll be talking to Christine. Might I remind you, February is Black History Month. The story of Black History Month begins in 1915, half a century after the 13th Amendment abolished slavery in the United States. That September, the Harvard-trained historian Carter G. Woodson and the prominent minister Jesse E. Moreland founded the Association for the Study of Negro Life and History, ASTH. NLH, an organization dedicated to researching and promoting achievements by Black Americans and other peoples of African descent. February is also Reggae Month, which is observed annually in February to celebrate the impact of the musical genre on Jamaica's social, cultural, and economic development, was officially launched on Sunday, January 30. In keeping with this recognition, I am featuring musical selections of Burning Spear and Queen Ifrica. 22 minutes now after the hour of 6 o'clock. It's about time, Lady D. It's about time you get Inspirational Zone going. Good evening to you. You're home, you're relaxing, you're running out, you're on the road, you're driving, your antennas are up. You're looking behind you, beside you, before you. Oh man, it's a lot of work to be out there maneuvering your way around. But isn't it a good day to just say, I want to sit back, relax, enjoy the show with Lady D? Well, welcome to you. Our telephone number is 914-600-4228, 914-600-4228. Don't forget we have the Linkage Radio app. We do. We're also on TuneIn. And we have our website. You won't be able to see me on the website, however, but you'll be able to listen. Check us out, linkageradio.com. Welcome to Inspirational Zone. Let's get our Irie praise on.
Give me faith, oh Jah, I pray, oh Lord, to face another day. Oh, Lord, give me strength.
Yeah, Inspirational Zone. That's my guy, Luciano. It's a long time I haven't played a selection of his. Welcome. It is center stage this evening, the platform where voices are heard and people connect, and you're connecting with me. Let me shout out my YouTubers, my family in YouTube. We're one big happy family over there, I tell you. One happy family over there at Inside the Zone with Lady D, Denise Gomez, Ryan, Pat, Andrea, Princess, Jackie, you're early, Jackie, Katrina. Hey, Katrina, want to say hi to you, my love. Nice seeing you here. And also, who else? All right, so that's a roll call to date. So we want to say welcome to you and to my avid listeners on Linkage Radio 104.5, 101.7 FM, and Sign FM and Touch FM Radio 90.1. Wherever you are listening to me this evening, don't forget, if you're hustling and bustling out there and you won't be able to sit before your laptops or what have you, but you do have your phone, right? Your smartphone. It's so smart. It's sometimes smarter than you and I. Well, jump on it and get into the YouTube app. Type in your search bar Inside the Zone with Lady D, Denise Gomez. Or if you see Lady D, it will accept that too. And then once you do that, you'll see me, right? You'll see my page. And then you go to the live show, which is in progress. Right after that, you just tap subscribe, tap the bell, tap all. It's a tapping thing going on. And then you will be able to get all my broadcasts, like the Saturday morning runnings and Gifted Fingers Touching Lives, my 2 live online shows. And then to hear me on a Monday, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. and Thursdays, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. You don't want to miss it. Don't want to miss it. So blessings to everyone tuning in. Let me now take you to the segment News Zone, a delayed broadcast of the news courtesy of the Jamaica Information Service.
This is your JIS News for Thursday, February 10, 2022. Governor General Sir Patrick Allen laid out government's legislative agenda and major policy plans for the 2022-2023 financial year during this morning's ceremonial opening of Parliament. The ceremony at Gordon House took place in strict adherence to the Ministry of Health's COVID-19 guidelines, with a reduced number of parliamentarians and dignitaries in attendance. In delivering the throne speech, the Governor-General announced that government would be focused on crafting a new social partnership for strong recovery and sustainable development. It includes plans for passing the associated NIDS regulations and issuing the first national identification cards, as well as facilitating major investments in health, education, housing, road and other key sectors.
The recovery effort from the pandemic will take all hands on deck. The government will lead the engagement of all its critical partners to craft a new social partnership for strong recovery and sustainable development.
Later in the day, Minister of Finance Dr. Nigel Clark tabled the estimates of expenditure for the 2022-2023 fiscal year in the House of Representatives. The Standing Finance Committee of Parliament will review the new budget from March 1 to 4 before it is taken to the regular sittings of the House for the budget debate, scheduled for March 8 to 22. Cabinet has given approval for several infrastructure projects and contracts for the 2022-2023 fiscal year. They cover housing, land, irrigation and technology infrastructure, among other areas. Minister without portfolio in the Office of the Prime Minister with responsibility for information, Robert Morgan, made the announcements during yesterday's post-cabinet press briefing at Jamaica House. Housing contracts have been awarded for the construction of 200 detached units and 50 service lots at Luna Gardens 4 in St. Elizabeth. Elizabeth, 142 semi-detached and 6 standalone housing units at Reed Spence and Catherine, and for replacing 100 one-bedroom starter units in the Shooters Hill project with the same number of 2-bedroom units. $1.8 billion has been approved to construct the St. Catherine North Police Divisional Headquarters, inclusive of $107.5 million to support start of the work in the 2022-2023 financial year. Cabinet has also approved the purchase of additional lands to provide parking for the Morant Bay Urban Centre project.
We also got the approval of Cabinet for the National Land Agency to acquire approximately 96 parcels of land with 10 structures with an estimated area of approximately 57,343 square meters in the parish of St. Catherine and Kingston and St. Andrew, utilizing the provision of the Land Acquisition Act. The parcels of land were needed for the Government of Jamaica's capital expenditure program being implemented by the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation.
A number of technology infrastructure projects have also gotten the green light. They include a project to supply, install and maintain closed-circuit television surveillance systems at the Horizon Adult Remand Center and the Department of Correctional Services head office. The executive also approved the digitization of vital records consultancy at the Registrar General's Department, establishment of an interministerial committee on matters related to Jamaica's cyber domain, and a contract by eLearning Jamaica for the provision of 13,500 tablets, not exceeding approximately $2.8 million. In addition, $84 million is awarded for the Greater Mandeville Water Supply Improvement Project, Phase 1B to 3. Preliminary estimates for damage to crops and livestock from recent flood rains is more than $76 million, affecting over 551 farmers. Heavy rainfall on January 31 and February 1 caused major flooding in St. Anne, St. Mary and Portland. During a virtual press briefing earlier this week, Agriculture Minister Pernell Charles Jr. said St. Mary was most affected, with 17 communities impacted by the flood waters.
I'm imploring our farmers also to take advantage of the GK Insurance Parametric Rain, Drought and Wind Insurance Policy, where in the event of your farm being seriously impacted by a weather-related event, you can receive up to $100,000 in payment.
Across the 3 parishes, 89 hectares of land with crop production were damaged, resulting in over $74 million of loss to 496 farmers. Affected crops include banana, plantain, vegetables, condiments and tubers. The livestock sector suffered loss estimated at over $1 million, with 55 farmers being impacted. Meanwhile, livestock farmers are set to benefit shortly from the importation of over 200 small ruminants as part of government's efforts to develop the industry. Agriculture Minister Pernell Charles Jr. says they should arrive for distribution to farmers by the end of March. The ministry has also issued a permit to the Small Ruminant Association for the import of an additional 37 small ruminants. He adds that the ministry continues with its program of artificial insemination and embryo transfer as part of the measures to develop this important industry.
And I want Jamaica, as you hear us, to understand how critical it is for us to be able to develop this sector and to put the science and the scientific technology and the use of genetics and the use of artificial insemination so we can define the best breeds and the best yields.
And finally, the Universal Service Fund, USF, has donated $2,000 to provide broadband internet service to facilitate the virtual staging of events for this year's celebration of Reggae Month. Culture Minister Olivia Grange accepted the check on Friday. She says the USF is helping to keep Jamaican culture connected through this support to her ministry. Chairman of the fund, Justin Morin, says the partnership will provide tremendous benefits for all connected. February was officially declared as Reggae Month on January 9, 2008. The annual observance celebrates the impact of the musical genre on Jamaica's social, cultural and economic development. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Adrian Atkinson. Thank you so much for watching.
6:36 p.m. Such informative and concise information via news coming out of Jamaica. This afternoon, I watched they had a expo in Jamaica, Creative Expo. And I am telling you, it was an in-house, in-person staged event and carried live via PBCJ and TVJ and I guess other media outlets. And while I was under so much pressure trying to meet a deadline, it helped me so much. Jamaicans are just flourishing. Their creativity knows no leaps, no bounds, no boundaries, no nothing. There were the ideas that they have for their businesses that are already operating. And you do have other young minds that are coming out of university. One guy studied geography, and then that was his degree. He did geography at the University of the West Indies, and now he's one of their top media moguls in Jamaica. He's just 23, 24? Like, Lord help me, Jesus. It was so good. And I oftentimes believe, and I've always said it, Mount Vernon, New York, the tri-state is not the United States of America. So there are so many other states in this country where when you meet other young, brilliant minds, you wonder to yourself, is it how they're taught? Is it how they're socialized? Why is it that the young people I see in my own borough, and of course I'm talking about the people we know now, because the people we don't know. But sometimes when you see the young people that you know and how they operate, when you see other young people, their age group, they would twist them up in a minute, wrap them up. I am just in awe of what I saw and heard this afternoon in Jamaica. We're just amazing. And that is why a lot of Jamaicans will tell you they'll come here, they'll visit, they'll shop till they drop, and they will pack their barrels and go back home. But not many people have that earnest desire to come here to live. They don't plan to come because the starting over for many people is very hard. And when you come to this country and other countries of the world, you're going to have to be vying for a position that you mastered. And they won't readily accept you. So there are so many things to consider. Oh, man, I was amazed. Anyway, 6:39 p.m. Good evening to you. How about some music? It's Black History Month, of course. My next feature coming up in a minute. Did I say Burning Spear?
Teach me, teacher. Teach high and
I did, didn't I?
Teach me, teacher. Teach high and I African teacher. I never believe. I always early. I never absent. I always present. That's why I and I not sit down here. Teach me, teacher, teacher, and I am a great teacher. I admit we go to school, but we never finish. That's until when we reach up on the side of Africa, wherein I can be taught by African teacher. Oh, teacher, I can be taught by African teacher. Teach me, teacher, teacher, and I am a great teacher. Teach me, teacher, teacher, and I am a great teacher. Oh, right. Teacher, and I am a real. I like to be teach by African teacher. Oh, right. Naughty like to be bright, so bright, so bright, so bright. Bright, oh, bright. Bright, naughty, bright, naughty, bright, naughty, bright. So bright. Naughty like to be teach by African teacher. Teach naughty, I'm a real teacher. He's a part of I. Oh, right. Naughty teacher. I'm a Rick teacher, African teacher, and I, I'm a teacher, and I, naughty like.
Yeah, that's the voice of the burning spear himself, African teacher. Aha. Lord, I took you back, didn't I? I took you back, didn't I? Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the show, Inside the Zone, with Lady D. Denise Gomez, broadcast Mondays, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m., and Thursdays, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Guess who's my sponsor?
When you are hungry, come to Cooler Runnings Restaurant. Located at 1802 Near Avenue, corner of Wickham Avenue in the Bronx, we specialize in the best Jamaican and American cuisine, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We are open 24 hours, 7 days a week. We offer free in-house delivery, minimum $20 purchase, and we also have Uber Eats. We do barbecue Thursdays, fish fry Fridays, and seafood Saturdays. For more information, give us a call for our address and menu, 718-324-7484. Once again, that's 718-324-7484. Cooler Runnings Restaurant, simply the best Jamaican food.
Welcome, everyone. 6:45 p.m. Set your watches and your clocks. Are you celebrating a birthday today? Well, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, somebody. Happy birthday to you. A baby was born somewhere in the world today, and we say, welcome into the world, my young one. Prepare yourself. And family and everybody is just excited. And perhaps it's your wedding anniversary. Happy anniversary to you. You're going out for dinner, or you have to wait until Saturday evening or Sunday, depending on, what have you. But then, you can start treating each other from now. Yeah, sneak home a little chocolate or something, a flower here or a nice little note to say, hey, you still light my fire. Oh, Lord. 914-600-4228. 914-600-4228. That's the telephone number to call me here in the Linkage Radio Station. It's now time for my Black History Month feature, Second World War Service and Sacrifice, Dr. Harold Moody. Ever heard about Mass Harold before? You never heard about Harold, right? Well, I'm here to bring you in the know. Born in Jamaica, Harold was the eldest child of a successful retail chemist and strict Congregationalist. Harold moved to London in 1904 to study medicine at King's College, Racial discrimination made it difficult for Harold to find lodgings or work. Despite this, he qualified as a doctor in 1910, but was refused an appointment at a hospital because the matron refused to have a colored doctor working at the hospital. In 1913, Harold set up his own practice and married Olive Mabel Tranter, a white nurse. They would have 6 children together. Alongside his work as a doctor, Harold became also an influential community leader and an ambassador for Britain's black community. In 1921, Harold was elected chair of the Colonial Missionary Society's Board of Directors, and 10 years later became president of the London Christian Endeavour Federation. In 1923, Moody spoke at the opening of the Indian Students' Hostel in Gower Street and lectured there again in early March 1930. Perhaps his most important piece of work in support of Britain's black community was the establishment of the League of Coloured Peoples, the LCP. With Charles Wesley in March 1931, Harold would remain president of the LCP until his death. The LCP was founded with 4 aims. 1. To protect the social, educational, economic, and political interests of its members. 2. To interest members in the welfare of colored peoples in all parts of the world. 3. To improve relations between the races. And 4. To cooperate and affiliate with organizations sympathetic to colored people. A 5th aim was added in 1937 to render such financial assistance to colored people in distress as lies within our capacity. As the 1930s progressed, the LCP campaigned on political issues such as the working class, struggles in the Caribbean, the campaign to restore British citizenship to colored seamen in Cardiff in 1936, and against the colour bar in Britain. With the commencement of the Second World War and the arrival in Britain from 1939 of thousands of black workers and military personnel in West Africa and the Caribbean to support the war effort, Harold fought to protect their rights, including the lifting of the colour bar in the British Armed Forces. Many of Harold's children would serve during the war. His son Charles would serve as an officer in the British Army. Doctors Christine and Harold Moody, Jr. served with the Royal Army Medical Corps, while his youngest son Garth was a pilot cadet in the RAF. In July 1944, the LCP organized a 3-day conference in London to draw up a charter of colored people. The charter demanded full self-government for colonial peoples at the earliest possible opportunity and insisted that the same economic, educational, legal, and political rights shall be enjoyed by all persons, male and female, whatever their color. All discrimination in employment, in places of public entertainment and refreshment, or in other public places shall be illegal and shall be punished. In the winter of 1946, Harold went on a tour of the West Indies and America to raise money for a cultural centre in London. Harold returned to England, a very ill man, and died on 24th April 1947. The LCP he founded survived him by 4 years. As the nation's largest armed forces charity, the Royal British Legion, the RBL, is dedicated to ensuring that all those who served and sacrificed, and who continue to do so in defense of our freedoms and way of life from both Britain and the Commonwealth, are remembered. In our acts of remembrance, the RBL remembers the sacrifice of armed forces, community from Britain and the Commonwealth, pay tribute to the special contribution of families and of the emergency services, acknowledges the innocent civilians who have lost their lives in conflict and acts of terrorism. I do apologize for for that break just a moment ago. The story of Black British and Black African and Caribbean service and sacrifice is one that we are keen to share, a story of men and women who have done so much in defense of Britain and in protecting all our citizens. A story that is replete with stories of bravery and courage, as epitomized by Victoria Cross winner Johnson Beharry. And so that's the story of Dr. Harold Moody, a Jamaican-born man, and his children came out so good in life. My word, doctor, and all that good stuff. Did you hear all of that? Yes, he was born in Jamaica, and he went over, he went over to England, and he got married to a white woman. You can imagine how that was a shake-up. That was a shift up right there. Oh my goodness. And the matron didn't want to accept him at the hospital. So he went and did his own thing. Racism. 6:53 p.m. Good evening, everyone. 914-600-4228. How are you all doing out there? I hope you're good. And to my YouTubers, I just want to say I'm here with you. You're having a wonderful, whopping time, having discussions and all that good thing. And at 7 o'clock, I do have, oh Lord, this story by a mother who is just over and done with her child, you know. And of course, she says that you all can talk about it. She'll be listening because she has already made up her mind as to what she's going to do and how she is going to do it. And so she made sure in the very last line, she says, I would like to hear your audience comments on my situation. And she's done with that girl now at 39 years old. So that's what's coming up. And of course, at 7:30, I'll be having a discussion with Christine. Christine has spent the past several years traveling to and volunteering in countries in Africa and the Caribbean. And so she has been to about 61 countries. She's going to share that with me in the world. She's also founder of Having Purpose Entertainment and Vacationing with Purpose, two social enterprises that she created to fund the nonprofit organization Having Purpose, so people can have meaningful vacations, having fun while doing good. So you'll be hearing from Christine coming up at 7:30 p.m. And so I'm taking you to some more music. It's my girl Queen Africa.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Are you ready?
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Black History Month, Reggae Month.
When the roll is called out,
I'll be standing taller
to face the darkest and the hardest of times. We'll be taking care of all the children thereof. But if it's required, we'll be on the front line. You can call me by my name. I am ready to roll. Once the rules remain the same, how the story's been told. Call me anytime, never cop out. Lioness is on the rise, don't you ever have doubt. Never say never, willingness forever to fight and be strong. Once it's for better, I'll write every letter and moving right along. And I'll roll with the punches, accept changes, work with the formula, do what I have to do, and call me by my name. I am ready to roll. Once the rules remain the same, how the story's been told. Call me anytime, never clock out. Lioness is on the rise, don't you ever have doubt. When you are willing to serve, we have room to observe, to see if you can walk the walk you took.
Let me give you my word. My voice must be heard. Bravery is a piece of my heart. Call me by my name. I am ready to roll. Once the rules remain the same, how the story's been told. Call me anytime, never cap out. A lioness is on the rise. Don't ever have no doubt. Oh, when the roll is called up, we'll be standing taller to face the darkest and the hardest of time. We'll be taking care of all the children thereof. But if it's required, we'll be on the front line. You can call me by my name. I am ready to roll. Once the rules remain the same, how the story's been told. Call me never anytime. Lioness is on the run. Don't you ever call me by my name. I am ready to roll. Once the rules remain the same, how the story's been told. Call me anytime, never cop out. A lioness is on the run. Ready to roll. Call me by my name. I am ready to roll. Once the rules remain the same, how the story's been told. Call me anytime. Never cop out. I'm ready when you're ready. Yeah. Don't you ever. Are you ready? 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 Are you ready?
I have a minute to go before I get to Mail Zone. Your emails are my priority. Don't forget, if you'd like to send me your story, your love story, email me inside the zone nyc@gmail.com. Inside the zone nyc@gmail.com. I'm here to read them for you, and then we make our comments, right? While you listen. 914-600-4228. Get ready, get ready. I'm going to have a discussion. My interview at 7:30 with Christine coming up. Good evening to all my seniors who are young at heart. It is now 7 o'clock. Thank you, Queen Ifrika. You did good. You did good. Welcome, everyone, to Mail Zone. Your emails are my priority. Brought to you by my sponsor, Cooler Runnings Jamaican Restaurant.
Two hearts together, we're a harmony so right. Two sparks united, we're a fire burning bright.
For the truth, always brand new. Right from the jump, we had a hunch that we had everything.
Perfect combination. Love plus you and me. A perfect combination. We couldn't ask for any better. Perfect combination. We fit to a team. A perfect combination. With all it takes to last forever. Together.
Yes, things going on. Welcome, everyone, to Mail Zone. I do have a letter here for you this evening, and as always, I have to check our mailbox to see what's in the mail here. Let's see. All right, let's read our mail together, shall we? Dear Lady D, my story is perhaps common to many individuals, but I'm so stressed. My eldest daughter is 39 years old and has me in a tailspin. She has been dating a 40-year-old man for the past 6 months, and they are in a whirlwind romance. The romance is not the problem, but it is the lack of respect to me. She is still living in my house and does not contribute to the bills nor anything. I take full responsibility for her actions, which is now a real problem to me. Since she started dating this man, he has been popping up at my house every chance he gets without calling first and asking if we cook. I have spoken to my daughter about this behavior, and she says that is how he is. About a month into the relationship, one evening I heard strange sounds coming from the living room downstairs. When I walked down the stairs, to my surprise, they were making out on my couch. Because I did not want to embarrass her, I chose not to walk in on them. I spoke to her after he left, and she, in no uncertain words, told me to mind my business. Since then, he has been sleeping over, and I cannot understand why she does not see anything wrong with it. It is my house. This situation has caused my blood pressure to be so high. I refuse to let her messy relationship kill me. Lady D, children can be so ungrateful. The reason why I'm so mad is the fact that I put this girl through school, which is my right to do, and now she's working and refuses to help me with anything at all. Last week I told her she must leave my house and take the lowlife boy she claims is her man with her. I would like to hear your audience comments on my situation. And she was done. Lordy, lordy, lordy. Here we go. 914-600-4228. Let the line start ringing off. I need to hear your comments. To my YouTubers, you are invited to call 914-600-4228. What is your take on this? Because, you know, as we get older, we take on our own, interests, likes, dislikes, and they are formed pretty much. After a while, you'll get it right. They are formed, and it's like there is nothing you can really do. You'll just end up with some habits that people wonder what is wrong with you. I take my first caller. Good evening. It's 5 minutes after 7. How are you?
Good. Not bad at all. Good evening.
Hey there,
You
MS.
seem to get a lot of stories that is good for Hollywood.
This is another one, you think?
Sounds like another one.
What's your take?
Find a Hollywood producer to sell him the story. You could sell the story to a Hollywood producer.
Hold your thought a minute.
Queen!
Hold on a moment. I'm hearing a radio is on in the background or something. All right. Continue, MS.
Hello?
Continue, MS. Hold your thought, please. MS, continue.
Yeah, I was just saying that you seem to get quite a number of stories that necessitates finding a Hollywood producer.
Well, even if they're coming out of if they're worthy of Hollywood, it's people's real life situation. What would you say concerning this young woman?
Well, really, the daughter should show some level of respect because having been put through college and all that, maybe it's time for her to find her own place.
I would think so. She's 39.
That's right.
Come on now.
So, yeah, it's time to move on.
Mm-hmm.
I moved on when I was 20 years old, so I know what it is
There
to
you
move
go.
on.
There
No,
you
in
go.
fact, I was 18, not 20, 18.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you were 18. Yes.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. And
So,
and
it's
you
time
know,
for her to move on.
time for her to go, man. And having no, you can't be under your mother house carrying a man. Oh dear, no. Nope.
And be seen in the living room
Mm-hmm.
doing what she's doing.
Mm-hmm.
That is crazy.
Yeah, that's not
That is
nice. That's totally out of line. Let me hear another caller. Good evening. How are you?
Queen,
Yes, King. Mm-hmm.
how are you?
Good. I'm fine.
It look like this a mother you couldn't find one bucket of cold water. This a mother you joke.
Well,
You gonna tell me in my house about I know my business?
mm-hmm.
Huh? Man, one bucket of cold water for the two of them and then 911 after. She have to go immediately. She need to pack like no.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Ryan. It's rude. She's rude.
Yeah.
She's out of line.
You look at the woman in her house in her old age, I go tell her about I know fear business you make out with your man in a woman coach. Me I say if you want the coach, you can get the coach, but you have to go.
You take the coach with you.
If you don't have nowhere to I'm gonna down, we can give you the coach, but you have to go. Me that throw the coach out of back of them.
I agree. Oh dear Lord.
Come in, no one back at the coach then in my
No,
house
sir.
again. You and your man come make out in my coach. Me I throw out the coach with you and all of your bang around them, as old people that say.
I agree.
Mother,
with you.
show him out. Show her out. The next time the man come back there, ask about food, you cook, sit and give him and they run in belly from he eat, he start running belly till he leave.
All right.
I should have me.
Thank you, Ryan.
Queen. Later.
All righty. All right. Who's my next caller? Good evening.
Good evening, lady D. Hi.
Hi, dear
Man,
Ma'am
listen,
lady. Mhm.
How are you, lady
It's
D?
it's a good evening. I'm here talking about people in couch and all kind of stuff. So what can I say?
I hear you. But my question is, at 40 years old, does he live anywhere? That doesn't seem to me like somebody that really have a place of abode, because he would have taken this young lady to where he is.
Mm-hmm. Well,
that is my intake on it. And is a no good slum.
I would say so. I'm assuming he does have somewhere to live, but you do know that there are men and women who are like that. They will just stop at people's house and eat.
I don't think is that either he has a family there and he's two-timing somebody.
You think so?
That's my intake and he is of low value.
Mm-hmm. All right, so he.
Speak to you, Lady D.
Thank you, my love. He's devalued. Who is my next caller? Good evening. Welcome to Mail Zone.
Lady D.
Hey, Brain
In
Box.
the name of Jesus. Oh, Lady D, this is not even a laughing matter.
It is not a laughing matter.
This is what I just learned about in lifespan. These are the people who them call. It's a failure to launch.
Mm-hmm.
She's at the stage where she's still stuck in her parents' house, living off her parents. She just failed to launch. And maybe the mother had something to do with that too.
Well, that's what she said. It's her fault because I guess, she had her there overtime and taking care of all the bills and what have you.
What a piece of liberty taking.
Mm-hmm. Having the man come to sleep at your mother's house.
Yes, and he has no respect for the woman's house. He has no respect for the mother. If this woman is his potential future, let's say bride. Let me even take the liberty of saying bride.
No problem.
Is this the way? Is this the image you want to portray in front of the mother? You have no respect for the woman that you're dating or trying to develop something with, and you have no respect for the woman's house.
Mm-hmm. I agree. And
chances are, don't have a thing. He's hungry, I kill him, and him barefoot. He need a bucket of ice. The lady shouldn't throw a bucket of ice. I mean, out of order.
Yes.
Out of order.
And then you can see that
she needs to go. She is a big woman. She needs to go.
I agree. And the mother, too, she's a dignified woman. Because whenever they send me emails, there's always a little conversation that I'm having with them, you know.
Right.
And she says she's Jamaican. That's not how she was raised. So she cannot figure out why this girl feel that she needs to be doing this. And she said when she saw them downstairs, she wanted to just go down there and make up one whole heap of noise and embarrass them. But she said she remembered that that's not how she was raised, and she just couldn't do it.
Yeah, we're never raised a certain way, but we're not going to make people walk over we.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she gave her an ultimatum and told her she has to go. So, you know, if at any time she wants to give me the follow-up.
Yeah, take your man, carry your man, go somewhere, make your man carry go somewhere.
Same so. Good to hear you bring back blessings. All righty. Do I have another caller online? Not at this time. Good evening. Welcome, everyone. This is where you call a mix-up, blender, messy, disrespectful, every adjective that we could possibly find. Who does that? I'm 39. And, you know, the mother says that's not how she raised her. She don't know how she just get loose like that. And just, it's almost like she don't care. And she says she goes to bed early. So when the daughter come home and, you know, she moving around in the house, they'll greet each other and all of that. But other than that, she gone to her bed. And so this girl just have the boy come in our room under your mother roof. You're not paying a bill. And she went to good school, went through university and everything. And that's it now. Oh, no. No. The under the roof thing there just bothers me. You don't cross that line at all. You don't cross it. Because if this girl is not demonstrating that she was raised right, that she has good morals, principles, the boy is just going to think that, you know, she's any whatever. And so he is just along for the ride. He's along for the ride, and he realized that she was willing to carry him. Yes, and she was ready to, you know, he was ready to say, I find one man. She even make me sleep. Oh, come on now. Good evening. How are you? Welcome to Mail Zone.
Good evening, Lady D, and to everyone. How are you?
Good, Pat. How you doing, Patricia?
I am blessed. I'm blessed. Yes. Well, you know what my solution is to this lady's problem? Get some courage and throw it in the couch.
You know what, Pat?
Lady D, you put some courage in that couch, then never come back into that couch.
Oh, Lord. Okay. I hear that. All she has to do is make sure she don't sit in the couch herself.
Oh, yes. Yeah? She got a plan. She has to have a strategy, and she has to plan.
They're out of order, man. Out of order.
Let me tell you something. What a disrespect. Oh, my God. What a disrespect. But you know what? That boy, that man, because I don't consider him a man. He is a leech. He's a pest. He's a parasite. A couple of scenarios. One, he's married. He can't bring her to his house. Or number two, he has multiple houses. And he can't go there because there's a saying, man have too many yard in stay hungry for dinner. So he can only come to the girl's mother house and be a parasite. But that poor lady, she better put her pride aside. Number three, all she has to do is throw the girl out by her feet, pack up her stuff and put them at the door, get the locksmith and come and change the lock. They can't come back in there, or she can go the legal way. Go down to the courthouse, yes, and put out a order of protection, or find a way to get her out of this house. 39 years of age.
Yes.
The law in this country do not put up with that. And moreover, if that lady is a senior, makes it even worse. It is such a total disrespect. When I hear of things like these, it just make my blood boil.
It bothers you. No, man, I tell you,
Oh,
the
yes.
emails I get, people are listening. When I put that email address out there, people are listening. And the emails I get, oh, Jesus, help me. No, sir. If I
feel
were
so
really
bad for this
doing
poor
some of
woman.
them, I can't bring here because I don't have one of those, explicit X-rated shows, anything go
Oh,
kind
no,
of
no,
thing,
no, no,
right?
no. It's
So
best to just leave that
yes,
alone.
some
But
of
I know
those.
when you read the responses, you have to say to yourself, yes, people mean business. It's unfair. It's not right.
I have another caller. Good evening. How are you?
Okay,
Welcome to
Lady
Mail
D.
Zone.
All right. Bye-bye.
What a whole lot of people would be end up scratching. Good afternoon, Lady D.
Good evening. Greetings, Ed.
Lady D, this
Yes.
thing is going on from here. It's been a long time, and it will continue go on.
Yes.
And I wouldn't throw my daughter if it was in that position.
What
If
would
I
you
was
do?
in that position, I would not throw my daughter.
So you don't think? All right. Even if this scenario didn't happen, but she's now 39 years old, you wouldn't start
I
saying,
would not.
"Hey."
I would never throw my daughter. No. Throw her out and something happens is another problem.
Yeah, but Eddie, at what point you think you would like to have your daughter live with you? How long should she live with you
As
so
long
that
as she can live, as long. I that's my daughter, Lady D. My daughter. And a lot of us do the same thing.
So at what point
You
would she
understand what I'm
be able
saying?
to learn responsibility? Because right now she pays no bills. She doesn't do anything. She go to work, come home, eat, sleep. She has no
Maybe you can
sense of
talk
responsibility.
her out. Talk her out of that behavior. But again, I would not throw my daughter because of that.
Okay, I
may be
hear you.
wrong, and a lot of people will have problem with what I'm saying, but it's been happening a long time.
What has been happening a long time?
Same thing what they were doing in the couch.
Okay.
People do that. Even two sisters. You know, a lot of these things been happening lately.
No, we're not saying the hanky-panky don't happen and all those things.
Right.
What we are saying, however, is you live under your mother's roof. Eddie, you meet a man, you're dating him. Even if you take him to the house and you're downstairs and you kiss up and what have you. But if you start to now take him into the house, let him sleep like him live there, and he comes by stopping, just show up and ask if you cook. That's so, no, sir. Something wrong with that. And even though she's saying to her daughter, listen, this picture don't look right. You need to change what you're doing. And the girl is brazen enough to say, she must mind her own business. Come on now. That's too much.
In these days, it's a dangerous situation, yes. I would not shoot my daughter because of that. I'll try to talk her out.
Okay, sir. No problem.
Talk her out. See if you can change her mind. But you don't want to throw her out and then kill her tomorrow. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, I don't think the lady mean now that she going to put her out a door and she no have nowhere to go. I'm sure she's saying to her, you need to find a place to go.
And maybe she could talk to the boyfriend, I would say what that man is. Talk to him.
And do what? She said the man not into no talking, him just want to come and sleep and have a good time and eat.
But maybe she don't say anything to him.
Then Eddie, a man
If
at,
you talk to
at
him,
40...
Maybe he would say yes.
Oh dear, Eddie, at 40 years old, to have conversation with a man who is talking to your daughter. Thinking
You can
that...
talk to him. Tell him it does not look right and you don't like the idea.
I don't think it's not that the lady don't say it. It's that the two of them don't care. They're rude. If I am
again, Lady D, a lot of people do these things. It's not something just start.
Even if it is formed, it's still not right.
No, it's not right. But again, I'm not gonna throw her out. Talk to both of them.
All right, I have another caller. Good
Okay.
evening. Thanks, Ed. Welcome. How are you?
Good evening, ladies.
Hey there, MS. I'm Al Jam.
Now, this is Al Jam.
Mm-hmm. Hi.
Yes, I said your last caller attacked stupidness. Firstly, the daughter is totally disrespectful to her mother. She's a grown woman, and she's totally disrespectful to the mother. And the man himself is even more disrespectful because he don't give a damn, because he's getting away with murder. And the woman, the mother, should kick her. Let her go someplace. She's a grown woman. There's no reason why she should be disrespecting her mother that way. However, unfortunately, the mother allowed her to go too far. She should have set the rules from early, and this way the daughter wouldn't be on that path. But somewhere the mother kind of spoiled the daughter. However, the mother, because of that motherly love, she's trying to work with her, but she's not working with the mother. As a result, go on your ways, join your man. I'm going to find you one place.
I agree.
Stop disrespect.
I agree
It's
with
as simple as that.
Thank you,
Thank you for
Jam.
Thank you.
All righty. Thanks. Do I have another caller online?
It's me again. That man did not listen. Then the man did that. Then when you want to tell me, say, Lady D, my old mother in her senior age, to hear me out there, they make out with woman in a fear couch in her living room in her whole age. What kind of respect that? Whether they go kill him and eat him, me not even know she'll leave the house. You can't leave, you can't expect the old woman in her old age for the worry about a 40-year-old woman. If she go eat that, she have means and way to invite this man over to come eat up my cupboard. A fear problem, put her out whether she want to live or dead. If you want to know if dog go swim, throw him in a deep water. Too bad fear, you can't, when you become of a certain age, you can't take on kids' responsibilities anymore. There is a limit to everything. Him can stay there, make for him that bring a man come next to him in the same bed and make out with she in the same bed. Good for him. Good for him. It's crazy. If I did my sister and my mother call me and tell me that, me go up, me go put her out myself on the curb with the man with the couch and change the lock and spot. Say, change the lock, she not come back in there. Who cares if she want to live or dead? She choose a man. And she tell the mother, play none of your business. She's an adult. She make an adult statement. Live up to the adult circumstances. Who cares if she's dead? People are going to live and people are going to dead. You think all the man can worry about that? Lady D, later.
All righty. Thank you, sir. Oh, okay. This has been a kind of spitfire one, isn't it? But, the lady's open. She says she has listened to the show and she liked this and she wanted to share it because she even have high blood pressure. She has tried not to let it bother her. But when she know that at night this man is in her place, moving around like, I don't know, it just wrong. Welcome, it's Mail Zone. How are you? Hello? Oh, good evening. How are you?
I'm all right.
Yes, welcome.
Oh, Lady D.
Just right. Wait.
I've been listening, but I kind of miss the letter itself. But I think I catch the drift of what is going on based on the conversations with the callers.
Right.
So, if the lady's 40 years old.
39.
39, yeah. 40, same difference. The mother, now I'm going to take the conversation a little bit different from where most of the callers are. Obviously, the mother did not set any rules and regulation in her house.
That's what she said. She said she had allowed her to, just do her thing.
Okay. So guess what? It is almost impossible for her to try now to change the rules. The only thing that she can do now is to get her out of the house. That's it. And this is going to cause some bad blood between mother and daughter because the mother did not set the boundaries earlier. Now she's going to try to have to force her out of the house.
Mm-hmm.
One of the ways in which she's going to have to do it is probably by being tough on her and getting the police involved and all of that, which is going to take it another level.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a whole lot of issues involved here. And while the mother is feeling a little bit disrespected, it is still her daughter, and I'm quite sure that she loves her daughter and she would still want to have a relationship with her daughter.
Mm-hmm.
She don't want to cut off her daughter at this age and this time now. So a lot of callers, I understand the emotion and the respect that they're saying that is deserved and all of that. But sometimes you have to look a little bit beyond that. And you have to look and say, well, she's getting up in age. This is her daughter. Her daughter is there with her. Probably the mother wants her there even more than how the daughter wants to be there.
Mm-hmm.
That is another thing that we have not heard discussed.
Mm.
The mother probably wants the daughter there to help her in her older years or whatever the situation is. So it's not as cut and dry as just throw cold water upon her or whatever. It doesn't work like that.
All right,
you know?
I got two. Thank you, Chris. I have 2 minutes to go because I have an interview coming up at 7:30. But
Okay.
I receive your comments. Every single person who called and shared their comments, I appreciate it. Nice to hear you all, Chris.
All right, take it easy, lady.
Yeah, okay. All righty. Good evening, everyone. That's a wrap for Mail Zone. This one has our head spinning. But it goes to show, I'm using my usual Jamaica talk. It goes to show when we have our children, we don't at any time give them loopholes to make them feel comfortable. You must still say, this is my house. This is how I want my house to run. Here are my rules. Because most of us, I went on my own. I was what, 21 or 22? When I went out on my own, have apartment and something. Most of us never want to be staying in with parents' house. How many of you who are now seniors here living, have your own families and stuff, stayed at home till you were 39? No. The tradition was they send you to school. As a matter of fact, for most of us, after we leave high school, the college part was on our own. We either work and go to school, unless you had the family to say, all right, go straight to school kind of thing. But no, we weren't doing all of that. No, we were not. We weren't staying up in no parents' house like that. It's in recent times people have gotten very lax and lazy. How are you? Good evening. It's 7:30 p.m.
Hey, it's Christine. Good evening.
Hey, Christine, you're on time. Welcome. How are you? We were just having a bit of a heated discussion here, Christine.
Can I add my 2 cents to the heated discussion before we move on?
No, man, go right ahead.
Okay, so I empathize with all that has been said. However, there are some legalese that needs to be addressed. One, you cannot put out anyone from your household if they've been living there for more than 30 days legally, or even if they're squatters, you can't put them out. If the police is called, then he's going to put the person back in the house unless there's some level of violence.
Mm-hmm.
And 2, you cannot get an order of protection unless there is some violence. So, you know, those solutions that were offered aren't realistic, and calling the police for that reason isn't going to get the result that you wanted. So I just thought I should mention that.
And we appreciate it, but you know how we are. We just, but I, of course, we welcome your input. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Guess who is online with me this evening? It's Christine Francis, and it's our Black History Zone segment. Christine has just been Christine, go ahead and say hi to everyone before I go off on my own tandem here.
Greetings. Hello, everybody. Wagwan. Hope everybody's doing well.
All righty. Yes, they're doing well. From you hear all the spirited conversation.
Yes.
They're all doing well. Welcome, everyone. It's Black History Zone. My guest is Christine Francis. Christine is the founder of Having Purpose, Inc., and she has been a social worker for the past 25 plus years, working in behavioral health, home care, and education fields. She loves to travel and has spent the past several years traveling to and volunteering in countries in Africa and the Caribbean. She has decided to spend the next chapters of her life dedicated to having Purpose, Inc. Her dream is to travel to each country in the Caribbean and Africa to assist local organizations create programs to educate and employ youth and women. Her personal motto is to spend life giving of myself. It is the surest way to self-fulfillment. To date, she has been to 61 countries in the world. She's also founder of Having Purpose Entertainment and Vacationing with Purpose too, social enterprises that she created to fund the nonprofit organization Having Purpose so people can have a meaningful vacation, having fun while doing good. I love that. Christine, welcome to my platform, Inside the Zone with Lady D, Denise Gomez. I know it's your first time, and I know...
Thank you.
You're welcome, and you know we're just going to flow nice and easy. Sit back.
No worries.
Sit back, relax, and enjoy, everyone. If you'd like to ask Christine questions, the lines are open to you once we start our discussion, 914-600-4228. So I'd like to say hi to you and, just to say after you had introduced me to the whole Rock River scenario, and you would, from time to time, send me little snippets of what you're doing, where you're going. So at first I said, Christine seemed to be busy and very involved, but I didn't know the depth of your involvement and what you do and how you do it. So I want to say, you are one force to be reckoned with. That's all I can say. Now, if I were to ask you what is on your mind right now, what would your response be, Christine?
Well, I was just talking to the president of Cornwall College Old Boys Association.
Mm-hmm.
We are working on sending computers and other digital equipment to 22 schools in Jamaica and a youth center. So we're trying to work out the logistics for that.
Mm-hmm.
So that has been on my mind to get done, because we are coming together on Saturday to put all these crates of equipment together to ship down. So that has been on my mind recently.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. We anticipate that 30,000 children in those 22 schools will be, their digital experiences will be improved because of the equipment that we're sharing with them and the computer centers that are going to be built out.
Okay. Welcome, everyone. It's Inside the Zone with Lady D. It's center stage today, the platform where voices are heard and people connect. And I'm connecting with Christine Francis. Now, Christine, you, after reading the bio and kind of following, I'm saying to myself, you are a resourceful Jamaican woman with a heart for people in the Caribbean and the continent of Africa. Now, where did this passion come from? Share your story.
So I was born and raised in Clarendon in Denby. And, you always have that one yard that everybody comes to when they need something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your mother always would say, go over such and such, or call Miss such and such. And my parents would be those individuals that they tell you about too. So I was raised in a household where altruism was the order of the day. We were taught to be kind and loving and attentive and giving. So that has always been in my DNA, And it is just who we are. Everybody in my family behaves like this. For example, Having Purpose was created because I would go to different countries on vacation and then call back home and say, why am I there? So I'm say a thing over there. So now send me some money to fix it. And, you know, they would send the money to help me fix whatever I thought needed to be addressed. Until one of my friends said to me, you know, Christine, you keep asking me for your money now. You don't think we forget a write-off. So having purpose was created for that reason, to give back, and so that the individuals who are giving to us while we're doing this also gets that. So the passion comes from the desire to help and the parents who raised me to do so.
Okay. Now, define purpose for us, because you've shared the passion. Now, what is purpose?
Okay, so having purpose, the word purpose is an acronym. It means people uniting to restore prosperity, opportunity, security, and education.
Okay.
And as I said, we are a collective of people who come together with the intent to do good. And that's what it means to have purpose. So it is not only having purpose, not only be purpose driven for your own desires, but a communal idea that we all should all collectively have the purpose to do something that empowers our communities.
Now, what is it about the continent of Africa that interests you so much?
Well, I mean, at the core of ourselves, we're Africans, right? Everybody has been told about the slave trade and that a boat came to the west and dropped you off. And I've always wanted to know, where do I come from that and people look like me? So this is the reason I went back to the continent and went around to every place. And I have learned that even though they say we are primarily from West Africa, every place I have been, I have seen something where grow down a yard, people who behave like me, look like me, you know, and saw where there is commonality. The first time I went to Africa was in 2008. Yeah. And just because I was curious to see what was going on.
Oh, man. And when you landed?
So I landed in Senegal the first time. And even though they did not speak like me, because, you know, it was a French colony.
Yes.
But they have some of our same food. You can go get some sweet sap, or you can get a particular mango. Kalaloo grow everywhere. You know?
All right.
They don't call it kalaloo, but yeah. So, and then I left Senegal, and somebody keeps calling me.
Okay.
So then I left Senegal and then went to Gambia and the Ivory Coast, and then just kept going because I felt more at peace. You know, like you found where your soul was supposed to be. So, yeah, that keeps me. So to date, I have been to 21 African countries. So of the 61 countries I've been in the world, I've been to 21 African countries. Actually, last week I was in Ethiopia. I just came back, so I'm still suffering from jet lag.
Oh, Lord. So, Christine, you know, there must be that inner bubble when you know that you have to go to another country on the continent, knowing that there are people who we only read of these countries, you know, we've not had the experience. And when you go and you have to mingle pretty much with these people, seeing them on the other side of the world, how much would you like to come back and just share and say, you all don't know what you're missing here? How can you strategize a way to come with me on my next trip?
I do that all the time. And one of the reasons Vacationing with Purpose was created, because people say to me, why would I love to come with you on one of them trips, Christine? So I'm like, you can come. But once again, people want to make certain that their experiences are going to be joyful. So we have tailor-made experiences that are going to make certain that you're going, whether it's to the Caribbean or whether it's to Africa, that your experience would be created where it would be pleasurable and you would get an opportunity to give back. And the caveat is also that we give you tax write-off. So your vacation, if you're volunteering with us, you can write it off as a charitable donation as well. You know, so people can have that experience. But yeah, I like to go to these places and just immerse myself in the different cultures and learn about the food, the people, the sceneries, and all that.
Man, because you're the trip, you sent me a few videos recently when you were in Rwanda.
Yes.
And I was like, look at this place, look at the lush greenery. And you were just, you had was it your tour guide or somebody who was showing around the facility and so on where you were staying?
Yes. Oh, so so my local partner there. So because we created Vacation with Purpose, in each country we have local tour partners that we work closely with. So Peace, her name is Peace, was showing off my room in my resort.
Yes, ma'am.
So you feel jealous when you did see it, right? You wish you did it.
No, I'm like, this place must be cool. I just saw. I was like, oh my God, look at this. And you just sat down there enjoying this beautiful God-created scenery. You don't hear no train a run, no bus a pass.
Not Nangwan, but tranquility.
Oh my God, I saw it. I'm like, I need to talk to Christine. So, that picturesque view that we would like to create in our minds.
Yeah, I was sitting there and looking out.
But how was that trip?
So, most often when we think of Rwanda, we think of the genocide. And by the way, the genocide only lasted for 3 months. 1 million people died, which was horrific. But it was a short experience, and then they have learned from that experience.
Yes.
So now, today, as we're sitting here speaking to each other, Rwanda is the cleanest country in the world. I mean, when I said there is not a piece of paper on the ground, there is no buckle dasher nowhere. They use their trash to create energy so that they can fuel their communities. It is beautiful. There is no longer a tribal system in place or a class system. So they're just, in most of the other African countries, you have tribes and you have, depending on where you are, a class system.
Yes.
In Rwanda, you're just Rwandan. Nobody's a Hutsi no more. Nobody's a Tutsi. You're just Rwandan.
Oh my goodness! And that's quite an achievement,
Right, and the genocide have taught them that they needed to be more cooperative with each other. But we won't talk about the reason why the genocide occurred and the backhanded behaviors of the West that created such turmoil within countries, like what is going on in Mali now, because they decided they want to leave from the French and become more independent. Many of the Western countries, their economic status is based on what comes out of the continent. So it is in their best interest to keep the continent unstable, So.
Interesting.
Well,
Welcome.
that's politics.
Yes,
That's politics.
I know. 7:45 p.m. Welcome, everyone. And of course, I don't want to not have a Rock River experience right now. Christine, I love the selections, especially Love Saves that you emailed me. And so I want to drop that in. Do you mind?
Okay. Yeah, man, run it.
Okay.
Well, love is the key to set everything free. Sing out the love and love and love and keep on loving. I saw us stay with it, all right? Come on.
Well, it's a long time it's been done.
Oh, tell them, oh yes.
But we come now with the spark.
We come ready and we
Light the fire. Make the place shine bright.
Yeah, I'm right.
We put love in every heart.
Let them know.
So come on and make we love somebody. Yeah, and it will make them happy. Yeah, and everything's gonna be alright. We don't have to fuss and fight. Oh, make we love
political persuasion, and it doesn't really matter about religion. You love some, listen from a distance. You love some, lit from in an instant. I beg you, no put out the resistance. Cause love we conquer any disturbance. No matter with the confrontation. Hit the dance floor with the love can. Come on, we jumping, we rocking, we skanking, yes. We moving, we grooving, we jumping, yes. Love's winning, not losing, not confusing, yes. We put love in every eye. Oh, so come on, let we love somebody. Yeah, and it should make them happy. Yeah, and everything's gonna be alright. We don't have to fuss much. Oh, make we love somebody. 'Cause love says what? Cheat and jump will have to be. Who know that? Who know that? But enough is stop another heart from me. Yeah, right.
What can I say? What can I say? Christine, I listened to this last night and I was just rocking in my couch and now I'm in my chair. I love this one. Love this one. Share about this one for me. This track here.
All right, so along with all the other stuff that I do, which is Vacationing with Purpose, Having Purpose, and Having Purpose Entertainment, I also manage a reggae group, which is called which is called Rock River.
Yes.
And Rock River produces songs that are uplifting and purpose-driven and talk about, once again, communal loving and creativity and people working together, and not only focusing on the bad things that goes on. Mm-hmm. So the song is about how love saves life, and if we all spend more time loving each other, then life would be more purposeful, right? Mm-hmm. So that is what that is about.
If you're just joining us, this is Christine Francis, and she is the founder of Having Purpose. She has traveled to 21 African countries to date, and her personal motto is to spend life giving of myself. It is the surest way to self-fulfillment. And you are doing that, Christine. And somebody seems like they want to talk to you, Christine. Welcome. How are you? Welcome to Black History Zone.
I just want to thank Miss Francis for the work she's doing. And she just, as I hear her speak, it just gives me goosebumps to realize and our work in Africa, to let folks know that Africa is such a beautiful continent and we all need to be there. Unfortunately, I haven't been on the continent yet, as of yet myself, but I've seen the technology in Africa is surpasses the one here in America and around the rest of the world. For us to embrace Africa as the new frontier, and I just want to thank her for the work that she's doing and helping. In addition to that, bringing back such great things to Jamaica for the children. I just want to say kudos to you and continue to do the work that you're doing. And thank you, Miss Lady D, for bringing on such a guest. I'm really enjoying your interviewing with her.
All righty.
Continue doing the great work, my sister.
Thank you.
Thank you, my brother.
Take a bow there,
Thank
Christine.
you very much.
Take a bow.
I am. So I am in my office. So if you all could see, I'm taking a bow.
Right. Oh, Lord.
So here's the thing. When I began doing this in Ghana, and we've built school blocks, water system. I support a girls' football team. We donate shoes to places. So in Ghana, I am installed as a queen in the Volta region. So, if you never meet a Jamaican queen, you just did a real one.
Sure. Aye.
May have the ceremonies to prove it.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I'm joking. I'm bragging and boasting, but it's the truth.
Do.
I am a queen.
Yes. Oh my goodness. And a lot of people say, what will I leave behind when I leave this world? I usually say I wasn't just born to eat, sleep, and die. There must be something that my name When you hear my name,
Mhm.
it means something. Even
Well, you have done that. You have done that, Lady D. People will remember your name, so you don't have to fret about that anymore.
yes.
For
But
me, for me, if they don't remember my name, but they should remember the deeds. Because oftentimes we, as time goes on, people won't probably remember your exact name, but they will remember the little woman who around the corner who built this thing. And my pitney went there and look at this child now. He's a doctor, she's a doctor. It's the next Nobel Prize winner because of what we put into our communities to empower these children. And this is why I focus on youth and girls, because in Africa, oftentimes, and sometimes it happens in the Caribbean as well, if a girl gets pregnant early, she's displaced from school, right? We no longer do that in Jamaica to the extent that is done. So I wanted to make certain that these are individuals who, regardless of whether you have a formal education, you can earn and support your family.
Yes.
So we put projects in place to create such an opportunities for others,
And that is commendable, because we know that there are many women today who had that experience of having to drop out of school and were not able to pursue their education and so on, and have had to settle for pretty much anything that they got. That came along.
That comes their way.
Yeah, it came along, So we're so grateful for all that you're doing. And we know that while your motto says to spend life giving of myself, I keep repeating it. It is the surest way to self-fulfillment. I'm saying, here is your life. It's centered around service, which does not always include the money. You don't.
No, man. I remember you began by saying she's a social worker, and my profession is based in working with people who are impoverished in some way. So I am not rich in any stretch of the imagination. I just choose to use the money that I have to help others, because it doesn't matter if it's 10 cents you give this man around a corner who only needed 10 cents, or you give $1 million down a road. You're helping, and it can't be too small. Which people always say, but me not have enough, I was raised in a household where everybody come on my yard and everybody eat from the same pot, and we all get belly full, So that is the idea, that we all, no matter how small you can give or what you can give, everybody has something that can be contributed to somebody else's life in some way.
And
that is what the meaning of my motto and my own goal in life is to continue doing that.
And I laud you. There is someone on the line. Good evening. Welcome to our Black History Zone. My guest is Christine Francis.
Call him back again for one question. Why was it that girls who got pregnant unfortunately end up in a situation where their education ends in Jamaica? Why did we have that?
You're asking me specifically, or you're asking Lady D as well? You want?
Just asking a question. Yeah, just asking a question generally.
You'd like to take that, Christine?
So it's, you see, because the girl oftentimes has the responsibility of raising the child, and we are from a patriarchal society as well, where, the women are supposed to stay home and raise the kids. So that is one of the reasons it happens. But back in the days, they thought the men would be the earners primarily, so the boy's education wasn't disrupted because they wanted him to go further so that he can then go support and I'm giving you the simplistic answer, right? But that's primarily why the girls got what we would consider penalized for a behavior that two people engaged in.
Yes.
Well, that was really unfortunate, because there are some girls who had very great potential and could not go on any further, even though they had tremendous potential.
And this is why we now want to make certain that those young ladies are given opportunities to go back to school. So I have a project that I'm creating now that is called Teaching Girls How to Code and Fly Drones. So as long as you have a computer and good internet, you can write apps and create programming. Whether that's in a village sitting under a mango tree, or you're in the city or in the slum, your creativity can be flowing from anywhere and we then provide the computers that the young ladies can use to do this project.
Yes.
You know, so they can be earners wherever they are. You know?
Remarkable.
On their behalf, I have to say thank you, since I'm a Jamaican. And
no, but we do that. We do projects in Jamaica as well. As I just told you, we just gave computers and everything will be boxed and shipped on Saturday to 22 schools. So it's, you know, we do it all over.
Yes.
Yeah, that sounds like a tremendous help. That's a lot. That's a whole lot you're doing there.
Well, it's not. I'm not doing it by myself. I have the beautiful men of Cornwall College Old Boys Association from Philadelphia, who will do all the heavy lifting to get this work done. I am just a pretty face that provides the computer.
That's right, Christy.
Congratulations. I still say you're doing a lot.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, commendable.
Okay.
Alrighty, so we are about wrapping up in a few minutes, Christine. But
Yes,
I think you have really sold us. If persons would like to, you know, support your cause, how can they make contact?
All right, so for having purpose, and it's having purpose, not having a purpose, like we always just tell the right? So it's havingpurpose.org, or you can go to vacationingwithpurpose.com and then can support them. Also, the Old Boy Association of Cornwall has created a GoFundMe page because we need to get the finances to ship the computers down for stuff that we had to purchase, or they had to purchase to finish the project. You can put that money into the Having Purpose Fund, and we'll give it to pay the or you can go to the boys with the GoFundMe information, which is lengthy. So I can tell you that later, and you can put it on your Facebook page if you want, Lady D.
Okay, yes, please.
But mostly people can just go to havingpurpose.org and click on the donation button. Yes. I'm also looking for new board members, so if people want to volunteer, every person in our organization is a volunteer. There are no paid staff in Having Purpose. Okay?
Yes.
So
all right.
Come on down and service.
Such powerful information this afternoon about your visit, about you as an individual and your passion, your experiences, you know, how engaging it must be once you start talking to these people in countries across the world. We commend you, Christine, and your team, and we are hoping that persons will, you know, donate to your cause. Giving back is so important. It is so important that we just not only think of ourselves, but think of the other person and how...
And know that, sorry, lady, know that we have no overhead to pay for. So if you give $1, other than the money that PayPal takes out, which is if you give $1, they take out something like 2.7 cents. The rest of that goes towards the project. All right?
Okay. And
nothing
finally,
is kept for us as an organization.
And finally, I have a fun segment for you. Are you ready? One word answers only, please. Response.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you ready? All right. One word answers only. Life's experiences.
Fun.
Africa.
Beautiful.
Jamaica.
Amazing.
Family.
Loving.
Music.
Vibes.
Love.
Necessary.
Future.
Promising.
And finally, Christine Francis.
Goody, goody.
Love it. Love it, Christine. Oh, Lord. Okay. Well, Christine, it has been my pleasure hosting you on my show this evening in Black History Zone. You were amazing. And certainly now we kind of get a greater glimpse of really what this whole black thing is about, you know? The history.
Yeah, man.
Yes. But thank you so much for joining me. It was a pleasure, and I know my audience, they are empowered. I can see the comments in the YouTube chat, and the fact that, you know, 2 persons called, you touched something. There's a trigger there, and now you can send them off, launch them to go do stuff. How about that?
Thank you for having me, and everyone is welcome to come on vacation with us or to come do one of the projects for Having Purpose. And it was good speaking to you all, and thank you for the opportunity, Lady D. Love and your guidance, always.
Blessings to you too, Christine. Walk good.
Blessings. Bye-bye.
Well, here without sin fling. We're not here to condemn that we should be condemned. Can't say I walk with Christ and I take Satan advice. No, 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 no. Come on.
Some said them a follow Jesus, but I couldn't marry boy them a talk about. Look like them never get them up, cause enough of them taking the wrong road. Some said them a follow Jesus, couldn't marry boy them a talk about. Most Jesus from Mexico, we always walk him like a dog out.
Could do marry boy, could do marry boy. Could do marry boy, could do marry. Could do marry boy, could do marry boy. Could do marry boy, could do marry. Singing hymns and shouting hallelujah. And you don't even talk to your neighbor. Every day about you talking to the Savior.
Well, we had the fun, didn't we? Wrapping up with Christine.
Separation. Check it out, all education separation.
Black History Month and Reggae Month right here on this show, Inside the Zone with Lady D, Denise Gomez. Blessings, everyone. Enjoy your weekend. And while you're at it, just remember that lady who is having that challenge with her 39-year-old. It's gonna work out. I'll come back with an update. Thank you so much for tuning in this evening with me, right here on Inside the Zone with Lady D, Denise Gomez. God willing, I'll be back on Monday from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. with the Monday Drive, keeping you in the know in the city you walk, drive, and reside.
You're not happy with the 10%.
Thanks to Cooler Runnings Jamaican Restaurant, 1802 Nereid Avenue in the Bronx. A lot of love and blessings, everyone. Mwah, 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 mwah. I'm out of here.
Some said them a follow Jesus, but I couldn't marry boy them a talk about. Look like them never get them up, cause enough of them taking the wrong road. Some said them a follow Jesus, couldn't marry boy them a talk about. Most Jesus from Mexico, we always walk him like a dog out.
Could do marry boy, could do marry boy. Could do marry boy, could do marry. Could do marry boy, could do marry boy. Could do marry boy, could do marry. Too much denomination, cause confusion, wrong interpretation, lead to wrong direction. If I say you follow Christ, go on, go check your GPS navigation.
Take my advice. 100 gallon of bleach can't make your sins white. Only Christ and don't condemn.
#1 radio station.
They play the best music.
#1 best music for your listening.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's here. Have you ever experienced a bad workmanship? Someone who work at your house and you're not satisfied, but you can't find good help? Well, look no further.